So I'm Cynthia Sharp. I'm the author of The Light Bearers in the Sand Dollar Graviton. And I'm going to read a little bit from part one because part two is finally going to come out soon. I finally finished the rest of the book. So this was written as a series of bedtime stories for my godson. So the point was to create something peaceful and meditative to give them good dreams by request. So here we go. This is a story about a little girl, Marcy of the Stars, and how she came to be. These were the fairy tales her grandparents used to tell her before she turned 13 and wanted the real answer. Once upon a time, there was a magical woman, Christine Anderson, who yearned to have her own child. She and her husband waited patiently for decades until they were old enough to be grandparents. For many moons, Grandma and Grandpa Anderson wove their hopes into a collection of prayers they kept in a wicker basket on their bedroom windowsill. When their wish finally came true, Grandma believed that she had dreamed Marcy into being. There was no other way she could explain it. It had all started one summer night when a mysterious woman appeared outside the entrance of a bazaar that Grandma Anderson was leaving. The stranger lowered her soft red hood and called Grandma gently by her first name. Christine, your wishes have been heard. Keep her in the moonlight. The woman handed Grandma a little doll, waved her palms over it, releasing a swirl of colorful crystal raindrops, then disappeared. The gift was so precious, Grandma Anderson was very careful with her, keeping her safe at all times, and only putting her down on a teensy tea box bed in the caramel wicker basket. Soon the bed had a soother, a soft foam mattress, tiny flannel sheets, and a knitted cover to protect it. The baby doll was adorned in exquisitely shiny clothes, and Grandma carried her in the pocket above her heart everywhere she went. This went on for many weeks, the Andersons sipping their tea and counting the milk bubbles on the surface as blessings of future happiness. Then, a few weeks later, on August 13th, all their wishes came to life. Perhaps it was the full moon shining on the wicker basket of beeswax candles, or perhaps it was the chakra light from the crystals in the window, or the magical gems the mysterious visitor had placed over the little figure before giving her to Grandma. No one can say for sure, but when they awoke the next dawn, a baby girl was waiting for them in the basket. Marcy of my heart, Grandma called her, for it was as if a tiny piece of Grandma's heart had crystallized into Marcy, where it grew and blended with Marcy's own dynamic spirit and being. So that was Marcy's bedtime story for a long time, and she went along with it until she started to realize that she's very different from Earth people and she needs some real answers. So this is chapter one, The Mysterious Locket. It starts with a quote from Marcus Aurelius. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. It was an inscription in Grandpa's journal of the universe, one that Marcy opened on sun-blessed afternoons when she read in his studio. Stars fascinated her. It went beyond the depth of words to a deeper part of her soul. It was said that life was made of ancient stardust, and Marcy pondered this often. Who was she? August was her favorite time of year, the daytime light in the garden giving way to evening fairy lights amid the Vancouver green. Summer had a hold in August and was good for at least a few more weeks. She paused at her open window to absorb the magnificence of the moon above the streetlights and the tiny flashing beams of small planes surrounding the alabaster dome like witches on crystal brooms. She paid silent tribute to this feminine cycle of the satellite, watching through the week as the descending demi-moon glowed with the streetlights. its smooth surface almost in reach, and then quickly vanished from sight. That night, the eve of Marcy's 13th birthday, just the twinkling diamonds looked in on her, in the cool and creative freedom of the night. The neighbors had lit up their deck with tea candles, a warm gold in the night, like a pathway to the heavens, and Marcy took in the view, her presence part of the ritual. Mesmerized by the stars at her Kitsilano window, memories of Jericho waves washing through her, she drifted to sleep in the hint of lingering sea air, her golden retriever Brianna curled up beside her. Then we go and they have a surprise party for her. I'm going to skip part of that. She meets a few interesting and strange people who are not from Earth. And she's wondering about this locket. Her grandma has a locket that has all the answers, and they're stalling her with this birthday party. So she wants to get to the good part. At this point, her best friend Jamie comes out the living room door. So Jamie donned his inline skates and glided down the sparkling black wheelchair ramp the family had installed for guests, cake in hand for Marcy. His sandy blonde hair blew in the wind as he balanced several plates of vanilla layer cake with creamy white frosting and ripe strawberries along his left arm, right hand graciously extended forward above his head for balance, and left leg out behind like a figure skater. Jamie grinned, impressed with the grace he had going, until the split second when the right blade stumbled as it jammed in the grassy ground at the bottom of the ramp. Pieces of cake and ripe strawberries in creamy frosting soared in the air like a clown's juggling act before raining down on the girls at his heel. Covered in cake, guests squealed as icing and clumps of dessert sprayed through their hair. The adults hurried forward to rescue the girls from flying whipped cream, and with everyone busy salvaging their cake and their outfits, Jamie was the only person who saw what happened next, and he was good at keeping secrets. While the guests wiped strawberries and frosting off their clothes, Jamie somersaulted forward into Marcy, who grasped the mysterious silver locket as tightly as she could. As he stumbled into her, the pressure she put on the locket activated a control panel inside. She disappeared into the device right before Jamie landed with a thud on the grass. Marcy was engulfed in the sleek interior of a strange vehicle. Its working dashboard reached from the tips of her fingers to her elbows and slid open to reveal a series of rainbow-colored controls that she had no clue how to program. The flying saucer zoomed toward the last coordinates entered. Inside the ship, Marcy floated about in the absence of gravity as she soared out of the solar system into the Milky Way. So that might be a good place to stop. So she's going to have to rescue someone. She wants to go back to her birthday party and she wants to go to her real home planet to get real answers. But an urgent message comes through with another planet. She has to go rescue him first. And so anyway, this is The Light Bearers from the Sand Dollar Graviton, and it's available on Amazon and in some libraries.